Okay.
Oh, you didn't do the countdown. I was waiting for the. Oi, oi, and welcome to the Dritz Dresden channel. Uh, my name is Ski Nerd. Over there is Derb Derb, but you can't see us because our camera's broken. But
Still.
that doesn't matter. You can hear us, and that's the only thing that really matters. We have faces for radio, and we are flexing our skills for that right now. We have just finished watching a movie called Love and Thunder.
Love and
And
Monsters.
oh, this isn't. Wait,
This isn't the Thor movie.
oh, Love and Monsters. Got it. Okay, Love and Monsters, and um, it was a wild ride. It was surprisingly better than I thought it was gonna be. I haven't seen it before
I saw this back when it first came out
in the theaters
on
during COVID.
demand during the COVID 2020 pandemic, and this is my first time seeing it since.
Uh, it was very good world building. I I liked the different characters that they had, the different monsters that they had, uh, even the backstory in the beginning. It made logical sense. Like, yeah, people would put in different chemicals in the rockets, and it would make things go all haywire.
And that is actually something that I'm I wouldn't be surprised if it was at least discussed if there's a meteor about to strike the Earth.
They would probably blow it up with missiles. But for those who don't know, yeah, the backstory is there's a meteor. I
Big
think
meteor
like
about to hit the Earth.
Helen 616 or whatever it's called, and all the world uh, launched missiles at it, and some of the missiles,
No,
ha-
they all hit.
yep, as some of the missiles uh, had uh, weird radiation or weird chemicals in them, and that came out of the rockets that fell down to Earth and turned all cold-blooded animals into mutated beasts. So you
So
have
we have
insects and lizards.
snails, butterflies, caterpillars, crabs, ants, leeches,
Anything you can think of.
frogs,
Mm-hmm.
into mostly into cold-blooded creatures.
And mutate them to giant
Or
creatures.
killers, I mean, not creatures.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say killers because they're not intentionally trying to kill us. We're just food to them. They were just mutated and now they're big. And like, if you think about it, if we were that small, that tiny, we wouldn't stand a chance against these bugs. It would be insane. Um, where the only reason we can beat bugs is through how big we are and our intelligence and the stuff we invent to like like poison and stuff like that. We will knock back uh, animals like ants. We'll be like, oh, ants are invading our house. So let's put poison down. Or oh, look, there's a infestation of crocodiles in my swimming pool. Let's call animal control, kind of thing. Or fire and shotguns and stuff like that. But yeah, the world was really cool. We are introduced to
Joel.
Joel. He is basically the worst character ever. As this movie was playing, and I'm sure those of you who have seen it would agree with me that Joel shouldn't have survived for 7 years in this world. He is basically useless on the battlefield. He freezes every time he sees a monster, and all the people in his colony know this, and
And he's only good at making stromboni.
Yes, he's only good at milking the cow, listening to others have sex, and making stromboni. That is correct. And
and
freezing in the
fix
face of danger.
and fixing radios.
Yeah, he can draw and he can communicate on the radio. That's about it. Um, so, like, it starts with them getting attacked. Oh no, a bug breached their thing, and they all have to go out
By
and
a
use.
giant ant.
Yeah, what? I don't. I don't know what that
It
was.
was an ant.
That was an ant.
Yep, they said it in the movie.
Oh,
Because
freaky ant.
when he's
Okay.
writing in his book afterwards, he says a giant ant.
Oh shit. It had like wings, so I was confused. It must have been one of those like fighter ants, not the
Yep.
worker ants. Okay, but yeah, that thing came and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you guys," and they all look at him like, "No, like, are
You're the
you
cook.
crazy? You you can't you can't fight. You haven't fought anything. You're the worst person ever."
So
He's so
bad
bad.
he's going into a fight with a monster with only one arrow.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you have someone like that on a battlefield, they just become a liability because all that happens is that the other people that are fighting have to protect you. It's like having a child on a battlefield where you're, a child would be crying on the battlefield. A child would just sit there and look at a giant bug and go, "Oh no, it's gonna eat me. What do I do?" Okay, then why the fuck are you here? Like, get away. This is why people. This is why in a lot of movies, you have the kid who wants to fight or whatever, and they're told by the veteran, like, no, you stay back, you stay in the back, and the kid's like, no, but I want to fight. It's like, no, you don't know shit. Like, you're you're green. There's kids, children haven't been born that are less green than this kid is, and for whatever reason, he talks to the love of his life on the
Who
radio.
got separated when initially Fairfield, California was taken over by the monsters.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago, and he's still crushing on this chick, and he also believes that she's crushing on him
She
too.
saved herself for him.
Yes, um, this kid is delusional. He doesn't know anything about, well, anything. Well, there's a reason why nobody is attracted to him in his own colony, because he's a coward and he freezes on the battlefield. But ooh, I should be doing this. Hold on. Anyways, there's a reason he shouldn't be on the. He's not getting laid because he's a coward. He doesn't really do much of anything. And in a world like this, where it's you don't know if you're gonna live the next day, people people are attracted to other people who are near danger and stuff like that, and it helps us breed when there's a lot of danger. Um, anyways, but
He decides to leave the bunker to go find her, and her colony is 85 miles away, which is a 7-day trek.
7 days. Oh my God.
And let's just he spends the 7 days. Let's just quickly finish up the synopsis.
Yeah.
Then we can go
He
through the characters.
he travels 7 days and meets her.
Encounters a frog, a snail. I don't even know what those sand gobblers, what kind of animal those were.
They looked like leeches, but they weren't leeches.
No, they weren't. Let's see if it says it in the synopsis.
Anyways, a lot of different monsters. A centipede was in there. We made a giant crab. But he makes it there, and she's like, "Oh my God, I didn't even realize you were gonna come uh, at all." And he's like, "I love you," and she's like, "Well,
Worms. That's the sand
oh,
gobblers.
sandglamas are worms, worms with teeth." And she's like, "Oh well, I just getting over my last boyfriend who I loved very much. He died a year ago, and there's a boat that they find, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be saved by this uh, ship captain, and They're having a party, and
He
Joel
base
realizes, oh, he's playing a trick on them. He's there to.
he basically drugs them all, tries to poison Joel.
Well, no, he gets they get him drunk, so they so drunk that they pass out, and then they tie him up. So, and then he's like, oh well, we don't have any fast fossil fuels, so my monster is gonna feed on y'all, so we can continue to gather resources and do that, and that's his strategy. He's a food taker. There's a huge joke with the food takers, and so they defeat
Because everybody Joel
this
runs
crab.
into asks him, why did he leave? Were you kicked out of your county because he stole the food?
Yeah, like everyone was like, "Oh, did you steal food?" Even the robot is like, "Oh, did you? Are you a food stealer?" And he's like, "No, what?" He gets to the last place. Oh, did you steal food? Did you stole food? Didn't you? No. Why does everybody keep asking me that? Um, but he there's this giant crab, and they defeat the crab, and they defeat the captain, and they're like, "Yay, we win!" And then there's a kiss at the end, and
Then he
everybody's
leaves.
happy. Yeah. So there was. So I had. We're gonna go over the different
Yeah.
like my favorite character was probably the crab. Um, uh, that crab was basically a slave to
The
the
captain.
captain. He was like chained up, and the captain would press a button and it would get electrocuted.
We're, or you can continue if you're,
Yeah, I'm just
but
talking
we're
about.
gonna also just go through the characters first
Yeah,
and go to favorites.
yeah. So that's the crab, and at the
We're,
end
we're,
he looks into the eyes of this crab, and he realizes this isn't an evil creature. This is a good creature.
we're trying a new format just to cut down the times of the video. That's why we aren't going into our usual in-depth analysis.
Yep. And the worst character in this movie was definitely Amy. She was an idiot for even being with this guy in the first place. Yeah, first of all, he's a dork. Okay, like I'm a dork too, but he's like a klutz and a dork, and he has like no game. Like he's he's drawing her, and he makes a horrible drawing. And
Basically, a
if I was her,
caricature without trying to make a caricature.
it's like he's like, oh, I love drawing so much, but he hasn't like drawn ever. Um, but she's still with him, and even in the flashbacks, she's like, oh my God, you're the love of my life. I love you. And it's like, um, and even on the radio, oh, you're gonna come. Oh, this is gonna be so great. No, stop it. No. Anyways, uh, those are my favorite character and least favorite character. What was yours?
My favorite is, of course, the best boy in the movie, the dog, because he very loyal.
Oh. Oh, you mean the dog, not an actual boy. I thought you meant the main character.
Because
I would probably strangle you if you said the main character.
at the time that he encounters the frog, he gets saved by a dog, and who he then befriends.
Yeah, and this
That's my favorite character.
dog was badass. Knew how to bark and bite a tongue.
And
What's your least favorite character?
uh, I'd have to go with Amy too. Everybody else is pretty good.
Or you could say the main character too. Like at the beginning, he was such a dumbass. Like we were watching it, and just kept like saying to Derp Derp, I was like, "How is he alive? He's stupid. He, he didn't know like basic stuff. Like he gets up on the surface after he meets Minnow and who's the guy?
Clyde.
Minnow and Clyde, and he hears like this like screaming noise in the background, and Minnow and Clyde start walking away. They're like, "Oh, time to move." He's like, "What? Why?" I'm like, "Because of the screaming monster that's 2 hills down the road." Like, are you serious? What, were you gonna go towards the sound? Oh my God.
That is one of my disappointments. We never actually saw that monster. We saw a glimpse, but we never saw it actually attack him or anything.
Oh.
The Chumbler.
The Chumbler. What was the Chumbler
The
again?
thing that was following him the whole movie.
I mean, the was that the was that the worms when
No,
you or you mean the toad thing?
no, the Chumbler. We never. When he got out of the wormhole, the
Yeah.
Chumbler is what started following him because it hurt him and got it sent.
Oh.
It never actually showed it. That's what was
Oh.
following him at that point that was screaming.
Oh.
The
Okay.
Chumbler.
Okay.
We never actually see it.
Oh.
We see like a glimpse of it when they're looking up from the top, but we never actually see it in action.
Oh. Okay. That was probably meant for the sequel, anyways. Um.
And and then
Oh, like if I had to choose like a human character that I liked the best, it would probably be Minnow, the little girl, because she just rips into the main character.
for me,
Like,
it had to be Clyde.
yeah. Well, no, you said his name wrong. It's Mary Poppins, as we all know.
No, Indiana Poppins. So he had a hat. He had like an Indiana Jones hat.
Mary Indiana Poppins. Perfect. Um. So yeah. So we had the main character Joel.
Played by Dylan O'Brien.
And then we had Amy
Played by Jessica Henwick.
and Michael Rooker as Clyde.
Danny Ewing as the yacht captain, basically the villain of the movie.
Yeah, he's a very brief villain, but he's definitely a good villain because of the twists that you don't see coming until the very end. He tried to he tried to feed the main character Joel poison berries,
That
and
he
he
that the that boy the dog stopped him from eating earlier in the
yeah
movie.
yep and you know the Clyde and Minnow kept saying little things here and there like oh lizards don't climb and he was this captain was telling a story about this giant two-story lizard that climbed over the wall and he's like wait a minute lizards don't climb and he said something else that I forget what the other one was but he realized that and then the berry thing oh here's a snack with berries um, but you know he goes up to everybody's drunk. He realizes Joel realizes that he tries to talk to Amy, but you know he gets conked in the head, and they all everybody wakes up and hung over, uh, tied up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a food stealer. We go around stealing, uh, colony to colony, stealing people's resources. Thanks you for the medicine and the food." And you know this world is dying. You know we don't have any actual fuel. We're powered
You've
by
already got
the crab.
this.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then we have Ariana Greenblatt playing as Minnow,
yeah.
the little girl.
She was very good.
And we have Hero and Dodge the dog as Boy.
Yep. Um,
And there's a bunch of
oh
other actors, but they don't really have any consequential role.
yeah. They're just kind of there. You got the captain's henchmen, and then the people in the colony of both
Colonies, yeah.
colonies. And then a really cool character was what was the robot's name?
Mavis. With a
Mavis.
1 instead of an I.
Yes, that was a really good character. Like this world had these robots, and he's never seen a robot because they all ran out of power.
A
Um,
robot that worked.
yeah, an actual one that was alive, and he this one had got its legs bitten off by a monster, and it powered down. So when he came into this random motel that was abandoned, it powered up and started talking to him and let him show him a picture of his parents. That was really nice, and he was just like, "Hey, what do I do about this Amy?" She's like, "Oh, you're in love. Oh, that's cool." And the best part was like, "Oh, there's many options. You could go there, profess your love to her, and she says yes, or you could go there, profess your love to her, and she says no, or you could just die a myriad of ways of many by many different creatures that'll kill you."
And
uh,
Mavis was voiced by Melanie Zanetti. But those are there's a bunch of others that are inconsequential.
Yep. But there was a bunch of fights too with different insects and creatures. We had the frog at the beginning, or I suppose the ant.
Yep.
The ant at the very beginning,
Ant,
and then the
frog,
frog. Um,
worms.
the worms. He falls into that pit. Centipede. Centipede was, I think, was my favorite because it just like because I thought this was going to be the queen that they mentioned. Um,
Queen worm.
Queen worm, yes. The centipede. I thought the centipede was going to be the queen worm, but like it was cool how they set up this centipede hunting, and um, dog went under the duck
Yep.
boat and was hiding. And I'm yelling at the TV like, the dog is telling you to hide, so hide, motherfucker. But well, of course, he was stupid and he wasn't hiding. Um, but he sees these legs pop out, these things pop out from under the ground, and it's kind of surrounding him, and he's not moving. So this centipede like comes up with his head and is like using its antenna, and it smells his crossbow, and slowly it's trying to find its way to potential food. And as he's about to fire, the tail of the centipede knocks him over, and I didn't see that coming. I thought that was so cool. And of course, surrounds Dog, and it's about to kill Dog. He has a flashback to his parents dying, and he's like, "No, not again!" And he goes up and shoots the centipede one
Twice.
shot. Oh, was it twice?
Yeah.
Okay, once
Once in
once to
like the
get its
chest
attention.
and then once in the head.
Yeah. I call BS on that because 3 days of training, that's not going to help you. You've trained in three maybe 4 days. No, maybe it's 5, but yeah, there's no way. He just rolled 20s pretty much. That's all I can say about that fight. Um, what was
What
the
do
other
you?
one? Oh, the Queen one
Yeah.
when he had the grenade kill. That was cool. Oh, and then the scene where he's all delusional. He's like, "Oh, Amy, you're here," and he kisses her, and he wakes up.
It's
He's
a
like, "Yeah,
guy
you
named
killed."
Pete.
Guy named You kissed old Pete. And he's like, "Ha, that's funny." And she's like, "No, you literally kissed old Pete."
My favorite scene would have to be when we meet Boy with the frog. Just
Yeah, he
Boy,
comes to help and stuff.
very selfishly.
Hey, boy is selfish. He took that dress way too seriously. Put them in danger.
But that'd be my least favorite scene was just the whole, not the worm fight, but the whole, like just that whole little spat between the two.
Oh, when he was yelling at
Yeah.
boy, well, he was being a dumbass.
But the boy was also just showing his loyalty to his original owner.
Yeah, but also but like above. Uh, in the moment, I could understand why it wants to dress, but above game, like strategically, you're hiding from that thing, and I suppose that would in a D&D game that would be its flaw, right?
Yeah.
It would be like I will go to this dress no matter what.
Uh, Not going to the dress would have been against his character. Just the
Yeah,
very brief
it would
character we met.
be like, well, I need to press the button. it's
Because
it's my
like
flaw.
he would not let go of the dress at the beginning, so that kind of showed that.
Yeah, he would follow the dress. Like when they were separated from Minnow and Clyde, I was like, well, it doesn't matter. Like even if he likes Minnow and Clyde, he's gonna follow. I was thinking he was gonna follow the dress no matter what. So
Because the dress was part of his original owner that we don't meet, but we
assume it got eaten.
yeah.
Definitely assume. Or was looking scavenging and got eaten and never returned. So this dog.
But the dog was smart. He knew how to close a bus door.
Yeah. Well, with the aid of a string, but still, that was kind of cool. It was like, oh shit, when's your owner coming home? Nope, didn't come home. But
But
yeah, let's do the rating and let's wrap it up.
I'd give it a, since it's my second time watching it, a 4.
Yeah, I give it a 4 too. Definitely worth rewatching. Uh, if they come up with a sequel, that would be cool.
Paramount, please release a sequel. I know it's been 4 years. We we want one.
Yeah, let's
I'm
demand
sure
it.
we aren't the only ones, because this movie has had a resurgence since it was re-released on Netflix, and I know it's gotten really good reviews since.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much I liked it through and through. They used what he used his it showed the knowledge he gained, and he was able to use it at the end. And especially the eyes, like some monsters aren't
Yep.
monsters. If you attack them, they turn into monsters, or you have
Like,
to look in their eyes. So with the crab scene, he's
yep.
looking into his eyes like, wait a minute, you're not a bad guy. You're just being tortured by the captain with electricity.
He learned
Wow.
that with the snail.
Yep. I thought the snail was gonna eat them. To be honest, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna die. Um, but yeah. If you guys liked it and you have something you want us to review, we can review it.
Next week will
Um,
be Slither. His choice.
yeah, it's technically a Halloween one, but
We'll probably do that Sunday again. Kind of hard to tell at the moment.
it's after Halloween. But who cares?
And join us on Halloween, or right now. Join us Tuesday
When is Halloween?
for our podcast, our Basement Dwellers
Is
podcast.
it Wednesday? Halloween is or Thursday?
Uh, on Wednesday, we let me just before you distract me, I'll tell you what it is.
No, I got it.
On Wednesday, hopefully around like noon, we'll be doing Pokemon D&D. We haven't done that in a month and a half, because schedules just haven't been matching up. And then on Thursday, the 31st, which is Halloween, we, after about 8:30 ish, we will first watch the Yakuza, or Like a Dragon Yakuza episode 4. Then we'll come on to review that and the second half of the Skypiea arc of One Piece.
On Thursday.
Yep.
Cool. We got 4 days to watch X amount of episodes.
I'm already done.
I know. I had football to watch.
And once we get past the Marineford arc, we're gonna take a break, about a month break from One Piece. Watch some smaller anime. Please give us some recommendations. Right now, it's looking like Zom 100, Detroit Metal City, Delicious in Dungeon. There's one more. I forgot what. I kind of want to show you Angel Beats, but Matt said no. Mulcat said no.
Beats.
But there's one more. I'll have to think about it.
All right, cool.
But for the smaller series, we're looking for between 12 to 20 episodes. That's kind of his limit of watching in a week.
Yeah, I gotta draw like a wall sometime. I can't watch like 50 episodes in a week. You
And
can watch 50 episodes in a week and be like, oh yeah, this is fine. But
that,
for me, I
that's
cannot do that.
that's why once we start getting like not this next one, because the next one's 22 again. After that, we can do 20 and then 15, and just do 20. But then once,
Yeah, I watched 10, I think. 10 and a half maybe.
yeah, we can do,
We can
because
do
for the Water 7 arc, we can do 20 and then 15, because it's 35 episodes. And then 2020 16 for the NS Lobby, I think it was.
Alright, well, that was our review. Thanks.
Uh,
If you want to watch or whatever. Don't forget to unlike and unsubscribe. If we
Give
get
us
under
suggestions to
10K,
review.
remember, under 10K subs, and we don't have to watch One Piece anymore.
Also,
Nice.
if you have any interest in joining our D&D campaigns, please comment. We're looking for some players for Pokemon.
Yeah, after you upload it, you gotta double check the comments, see if they're turned on or not. Because I was like a couple days ago, I was looking at the different live things.
Good night, everyone.
Oh yeah, bye. We can talk about this after.
Happy Halloween if you don't see us before.